All right, Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Call Halal, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that tells us truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and also to the believers scattered across the four corners of the earth, the hopefully elect to USA. Shalom. So yeah, pretty much this lesson right here is going to be geared towards judgment, as you can see from the title. All right, judgment from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, due to the pride that is upon our people. And I'm going to take this lesson in the direction of idolatry. As our Lord said, in the book of St. John, or 1 John 5:21, it says, little children, keep yourselves from idols. Amen. All right, so the first commandment is to worship the Most High Yahweh through His Son, and that only. And then when you start going off from that path, dwelling within the self-worship or these wicked holidays, which is demonic, then this is what happens. You get shot by a fucking pellet gun and you drop dead, man. All right, so this mother, she was shot to death with a pellet gun in Birmingham intersection, and she loved her family. Of course, she loved her family, right? I mean, just think about that. The chick died from a pellet gun wound. All right? I mean, we done seen people get their heads halfway blown out with shotguns, right? Impalements through the skull, horrific judgments, limb torn off, and so on and so forth, and they still survive, man. But something as small as a pellet gun took this woman's life, showing you that the Lord can take you out in a major way or a subtle way, and there is no discharge in that war. So when it's your time, it's your time. All right, as we get in the book of, I think it's Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, and we'll start at verse 6. Because to every purpose there is a time and judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him. For he knoweth not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? So no one knows when they're going to have to give up the ghost, man. All right? That's why you're constantly, looking behind your shoulder. There is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit. Neither have he power in the day of death. And there's no discharge in that war. So when it's your time to go, you can't stop your spirit from leaving your body, no matter what the circumstances is, big or small. You get shot with a pellet gun, you couldn't hold your soul within your own body. When it's your time to go, the Lord's going to call your spirit up, and you're going to receive your judgment at any time He commands. So it says, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. You see, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. So as our people are dwelling within idolatry, self-worship, doing as our will, all right, the Lord is bringing through judgment. All right, and this woman left behind a 1-year-old, and her family is torn up about it. All right, and this is a righteous judgment from the Most High for this woman's wickedness. So let's read some of this real quick. All right, we're going to start right here. It says, my sister would have been 26 on Sunday. You see that? Anisha Johnson said, we were going to celebrate, but now we can't because her life was cut short. Okay, so for one thing, we know that celebrating your birthday is demonic, is wicked. And the fact that they were planning this ahead of time, not understanding that they have no control over their life. All right, the Lord looked at that pride and He got rid of her, man. He took her spirit away. You see? And that's why we got to remain humble. You don't know what tomorrow may hold. All right. Let me see. What is that? James 4. Let's put in vapor, because you don't know when your time coming. James 4:14. It says, verse 13. Look, warning about self-confidence. Go to now, he that say today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain, whereas not or whereas you know not what shall be on tomorrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away. For that you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now you rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. See, therefore him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So you can't, predict your own fate, man. All right, you can't predict your own life. It's the Lord that controls the steps of men, and if he wants to take you out, then that's what it's going to be. So Lamentations 3:20 and 37, Salaki, Lamentations 3:37, who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass, when the Lord commandeth it not? You see that? So they were going to celebrate her 26th birthday, which is a wicked holiday, by the way, and it was abruptly interrupted by a fucking pillar. A direct hit from Yahweh by Shemal Shah. All right, out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. So, when you come into this truth, it's all about humbling yourself and understanding that your life is not controlled by your own thoughts. Your actions, your footsteps are actually guided by Yahweh by Shemal Shah. Okay, and that takes away pride from man. But you see, 2/3 of our people don't have that knowledge. So Deuteronomy 32:39, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, and neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. You see that? For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. Okay? And so Yahweh by Shemal Shah and his terrible judgments, however it may be, is the one that's controlling the destinies of men. All right. And so this chick, was getting prepared to celebrate her 26th birthday, but did not know. All right. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. She had no idea. She had no idea. Ecclesiastes 5:7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord Yahweh by Shemal Shah, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord Yahweh by Shemal Shah come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. You see that? So that's what happened to that young lady who left behind a 1-year-old, man, because of her pride. And, Jake by now has heard about the Israelites, and they just continue to go about doing their own thing. And this is, the result of it, man. All right? A lot of people getting put to death currently. And so, this birthday thing, in which when you come to this truth, you put off all of these pagan holidays and things that were contrary to the spirit of Yahweh by Shemal Shah, and you turn to Yahweh by Shemal Shah in truth and sincerity. All right, so I got this article from Fresh Trimmings. All right, so it says the origins of birthday celebrations. While many cultures developed birthday celebrations separately, the Egyptians were the first ones to get the party started. And right now we're in spiritual Egypt, like all over again. All right, it's the same shit. The Egyptians were the first ones to get the party started. When Egyptian pharaohs were crowned gods, they were birthed. You see that? When Egyptian pharaohs were crowned gods, they were birthed. That means the first birthday celebration wasn't marking the birth of a human, but rather the birth of a god. You see? So when you worship birthdays, that's actually worshiping another god. Okay? Another early birthday celebration started with the pagans. Pagans believed that a person was especially susceptible to spells of good and evil during their birthday. Wondering why? During your birthday, personal spirits make their appearance. That means you're a bit closer to the spirit world. If you thought birthday wishes were silly, you may want to rethink your beliefs. All right, and that continue with the Greeks in the second paragraph, but everything pretty much comes from Egypt. Those same gods and deities are back here today. So when you celebrate holidays, birthdays, whatever it may be, it could be your child's birthday. When you celebrate that, you're bringing demons upon yourself because you're worshiping other idols. And we know that Most High Yahweh by Shemal Shah told us not to worship any other gods. All you do is type in other gods. All right? And the Lord's going to give you the rundown. Deuteronomy 5 and 7, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Deuteronomy 6 and 14, you should not go after other gods, of the gods of the people which are round about you, man. These are commandments. Deuteronomy 7 and 4, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly, man. You see that? So that's what happened. All right, that is what happened. And so the Lord also speaks about familiar spirits. We'll get that one, close it out. Deuteronomy 18 and verse 10. Matter of fact, verse 9. When thou art coming to the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. Okay? There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire. And you're doing it spiritually when you celebrate their birthdays, man. Alright? Or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or consult with familiar spirits. Okay? And that's what that article was speaking about. You're pretty much summoning up another god or another demon, you know, which is idol worship, man. Things that we were warned not to do. You see that? So, and it says, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination to the Lord Yahweh, and because of these abominations, the Lord Yahweh thy power doth dry them out before thee. All right, thou shalt be perfect with the Lord Yahweh thy power. So the point is that, you know, as we have separated from this old life, put out the old man and put on the new man, you know, we were renewed in the knowledge of what not to serve and what to serve. And so that's why we have to keep our garments pure and watch, you know, what we're doing as we're in Babylon the Great, because there's always an occasion to fall. You know, you might slip up and, you know, go to a damn party or some shit, a birthday party, and be mingled with the heathen, man. And that's you worshiping another god, you see? So, yeah, I just want to go through that real quick. You know, I thought that was interesting. This chick got shot by a pellet gun, and now her life is over with. So with that, Lord willing, you're edified. Till next time, I say shalom.